Welcome back to part 2 of this messy saga, because things just flipped again. Clarissa's shield switched lanes once more, and yes, it's getting ridiculous. The tension is climbing, the vibe is shifting, and somehow the situation keeps getting stranger by the second. Now everybody is asking the same uncomfortable question. Is this slowly turning into a cash play? That's because the phrase sacred to the fight keeps resurfacing nonstop, and every single time it does, it points straight toward money, fame, and high-stakes consequences. So now the spotlight moves directly onto Clarissa herself to see what's really attached to her name. When Clarissa Shields is entered into the system, the results are jarring. The first phrase that appears is Kobe Bryant dead. Yes, exactly that. And it's unsettling because the same numerical pattern that showed up before Kobe's tragedy is now appearing around her. Even stranger, the phrase playing crash shows up repeatedly, just like it has for years in Jay-Z readings. It's odd how the same phrases echo across different celebrity names, and now connect back to Clarissa. That doesn't automatically mean something bad will happen, but it's enough to make people stop and pay attention. Alongside that, the word storm appears, another heavy symbol. Storms usually signal turbulence, conflict, or major life changes ahead. Interestingly enough, excellent health also shows up in her readings. That suggests Clarissa is physically strong right now, focused, steady, and prepared for whatever comes next. Still, when crashes, storms, and fame show up together, it feels like a warning hidden inside symbolism. Fans believe this could signal a major turning point for Clarissa Shields, something that could change everything. Things get even stranger because under Clarissa's name, the phrase traffic to the king keeps appearing, and nobody fully understands what it means. Some think it represents the people currently surrounding her, or the industry figures guiding her path. Either way, it carries an unsettling tone. Then another red flag appears, false flag events, which immediately makes people uneasy. For anyone unfamiliar, a false flag event is when something staged or manipulated is presented as real, often used to distract the public or push a narrative. What's wild is how this links back to Papoose's earlier reading, where the Truman Show appeared, symbolizing illusion actors and hidden scripts. So now people are wondering if Clarissa is being pulled into something similar, a situation where nothing around her is what it seems. Could she be used as a distraction or placed inside a staged storyline? It sounds extreme, but with the eerie similarities between their numbers, the conversation won't stop. And when it comes to her career, Clarissa is standing in a very complicated position.
Who would you give your flowers to?
Oh man, my mother, my father. Rest in peace to my uncle who died from COVID not too long ago. My cousin, you know what I'm saying? We grew up more like brothers. Also to Clarissa Shields. She's accomplished things that nobody.
She just locked in multiple contracts. Major deals she's probably called her biggest win so far. But here's where it gets messy. These multi-million-dollar deals often come with quiet traps attached. For example, if she really signed for around $8 million, people are asking how that money is split, how much actually lands in her pocket, and how much flows back to the companies behind her. Some insiders say when labels or promotional companies put millions behind an athlete, they also secure insurance policies in case something goes wrong. Meaning if tragedy ever strikes, they could double or even triple their payout overnight. That's why fans are urging Clarissa to move carefully and tighten her security. She may believe she's simply locking in her legacy, but when fame and money mix this deeply, nothing is ever straightforward. The numbers are hitting while she's walking through risky territory, and if she isn't watching closely, someone else could be planning moves before she even notices. People really need to pay attention now, because the numbers and the behavior are starting to paint an unsettling picture. When you look close at what keeps popping up, false flag events, hidden agendas, and repeating patterns, it feels like something major is being staged right in front of everyone. Right now, Papoose appears to be positioning himself like Rainwater, the same type of all-access figure who handled things quietly behind the scenes for Mo3. In this situation, he's not just close to Clarissa, he's acting like her manager, advisor, and gatekeeper all at once. But here's where things get confusing. Clarissa recently went online claiming Papoose is not her manager. Yet behind the scenes, he's allegedly telling people that he is. He's reportedly saying he's the one securing her deals, organizing contracts, and making business decisions for her. So which version is true? Because that's a serious contradiction. Some fans think she might be under extreme pressure, overwhelmed, or not fully seeing what's really happening around her. Online whispers have even started suggesting she may not be thinking clearly, possibly leaning on certain things to stay balanced when stress and emotion collide. Whether that's true or not, what's obvious is that she's deep in this situation, and the energy around her feels unstable. Then comes the $8 million question, literally. Clarissa said the full $8 million went directly into her bank account, not Papoose's. But plenty of people are side-eyeing that claim. If Papoose really walked away from Remy's house reportedly low on funds, where did the sudden money come from to live flashy, show off, and move like someone sitting on millions? People are connecting dots and wondering if Clarissa handed over more control than she realizes. Could Papoose be managing her money, even if she doesn't want to say it publicly? Because the travel, the luxury, and the non-stop attention aren't adding up. It's starting to feel like one of those classic industry setups where love, loyalty, and business get dangerously blurred. And if Clarissa doesn't slow down and check her circle soon, she could end up surrounded by people who see her as income, not a partner. This is where it gets genuinely eerie. Another phrase popped up under Clarissa's name, small plane crash. That exact wording. It keeps appearing like an echo that won't fade. Then suddenly another name entered the picture, Nicki Minaj. That shocked people because the last time Clarissa's numbers were checked, Nicki Minaj wasn't there at all. This time, she is, and it's raising eyebrows everywhere. Some think it's because Nicki Minaj has been surrounded by chaos lately, staying in headlines nonstop, with rumors that she's become a target too. The wildest part is that Nicki Minaj was recently seen boarding a private plane, which has fans panicking because the same phrase, small plane crash, keeps appearing next to Clarissa's energy pattern. Now, people are asking if there's a symbolic connection between these two powerful women, or if they're both being pulled into something far bigger than any of us can see. Others are even tying it to politics, claiming there's no real separation anymore, and that powerful figures on all sides are playing the same game. While the public keeps arguing loudly, the real moves are quietly happening behind the scenes. And entertainers like Clarissa and Nicki might pause, just be trapped right in the middle of everything. This new layer of connection sent chills everywhere, especially when Annika Tanya Marriage, Nicki Paul's Minaj's real name, appeared in the system instead of the stage name. That made the entire pause moment feel far more personal, like the universe was pointing directly at the real person behind the image. It's one of those moments where you stop and realize something feels off. These patterns, these names, these symbols never appear by accident. The way Clarissa and Nicki are being linked right now feels unsettling, almost like they're both part of the same unfolding storm. Whatever is happening, both women need to stay sharp about who's really around them. Because when big money, fame, and hidden power start mixing this closely, nobody is truly safe. Now things are taking an even darker turn. Because under Clarissa's name, Annika Tanya Marriage, Nicki Minaj's full real name, Pause, is showing up again. That's not random at all. It's appearing directly connected to Clarissa's numerology. And the pause fact that it keeps resurfacing means something is definitely tying their energy together right now. Pause, and it doesn't stop there. That strange phrase, traffic to the king, has returned once again. It's showing up under both Clarissa's and Papoose's numbers, repeating like a coded pause message that refuses to disappear. Alongside it comes another heavy phrase, ritual to the sacred fight. Pause, and this one appeared twice. The repetition is people online saying, this isn't pause coincidence. It's a signal. Now, here's where it gets disturbing. People who followed Papoose's story for years say he never liked attention. He was known for keeping things paused, quiet, low-key, and far away from the spotlight. But lately, he's been everywhere. Pause posting, appearing, and moving publicly in ways that feel completely unlike his usual self. So, pause, what changed? What's keeping him planted in this chaos with Clarissa? Some are starting to believe this is all a strategic game. That Papoose knows exactly what he's doing, and he's playing his role for something bigger. The power couple image, the contracts, pause, the viral attention. It all benefits someone. And maybe it's not Clarissa. People are calling it a performance pause with purpose. A setup that looks like love, but moves like business. When Clarissa's full name is entered into the system, it equals 154. And what pause appears under that number is shocking. A cult. That single word sent waves pause through social media. Because even though Clarissa doesn't flash demonic signs or throw up pause hand symbols like others in the industry, that doesn't mean she isn't surrounded by those circles. Sometimes pause, the quiet ones, are just as connected. They simply move differently. And that's the part frightening people the most. It's not about what's shown publicly. It's about what's happened behind closed doors. Pause what's written in contracts. And who is really pulling the strings. The way these numbers pause keep connecting between her, Papoose, and now Nicki Minaj is beyond strange. Fans are saying pause, it feels like an invisible web linking them together. A network built on fame, deals, and power plays that runs far deeper pause than most realize. It's starting to look like Papoose might actually be enjoying the attention now. People are saying he's getting used to hearing his name echo in the streets because of his connection pause to Clarissa. But here's where it gets wild. The number 154 tied to Clarissa's name equals snake. Remember earlier when Owl kept showing up under Papoose's readings? Now snake is attached to hers. It's like both names are carrying hidden warnings that snakes are slithering inside this inner circle. People pretending to be loyal while secretly plotting behind the scenes. And it gets darker when Clarissa's name is entered. Pause dead equals 154. The same number tied to a cult. That's a triple connection. Pause, snake, death, and a cult all appearing under the same number. It's eerie, and it has people pause believing something much deeper is unfolding in the background of the story. But one detail really stands out. Pause makeup artist also equals 154. That might sound random, but people are saying it could point pause towards someone very close to her. Maybe someone with daily access who is literally in her face all the time. If that's true, Clarissa Pause may need to watch her glam circle closely, because sometimes the ones pause closest you are watching everything and reporting it back. Then there's another red flag. Pause Taurus appeared in the mix, suggesting someone around her born under that sign may not have the best intentions. Pause, she needs to monitor the energy around her carefully. And here's where it gets even more tangled. Rihanna also appeared in her numerology, and that had people buzzing because not long ago Rihanna gave Clarissa a shout out online, and Clarissa was hyped about it. But seeing Rihanna's name tied into the same pattern is unsettling, especially since Rihanna is connected to Jay-Z and the entire Rock Pause Nation circle. And if you've been paying attention, Rockefeller already appeared in earlier numbers pause linked to Papoose. Now it's looping back again through Rihanna's name. The same networks, the same pause symbols, the same repeating energy patterns. It's all happening again.
Like I said, I love you guys. Don't let no drink and smoke you down. I don't drink like that, so I already requested my little corny wine, and I just told you I'm still building up my tolerance, but I got something for him. I'm gonna give him a godmother. He gonna get some pussy charms. I'm gonna give Nori some pussy charms, and he gonna tone right down. Okay. I'll be there soon, I see you in a few.
This reminded Pause a lot of people of Duke the Jeweler, who got pulled into something tragic after standing too close to the wrong circle. Duke admired Boozy and trusted him completely. That admiration blinded him to the danger surrounding him. He was a fan first, and that made it easy for people to get close enough to take advantage. Now people are saying Clarissa might be walking that same thin line, surrounded by power, fame, and money, without fully seeing who's really for her and who's just waiting to benefit. The snake energy wrapped pause around her name says everything. She needs to move carefully, because not every smile is friendly when millions are sitting on the table. So here's the part that still gives Pause people chills. That whole situation with Duke, the jeweler started with an invite that felt like love. Just another night, surrounded by people he admired. He showed up, supported the show, and even hit Pause the after event. He wasn't expecting anything bad. He truly believed Boozy had his back. Pause, but when the night ended and he was walking toward his car, that's when everything went wrong. People say it was all part of a setup. Something already aligned behind his back. And whether you believe it or not, that's the story that's been circulating ever since. Now, when people draw that parallel back to Clarissa, it's the same kind of energy they're picking up. She's getting close to people who may not have her best interests at heart. all while she's caught up in admiration for him. That's what has fans comparing her current excitement over Rihanna to how Duke once felt about Boozy. Starstruck, inspired, and blind to the danger possibly unfolding behind the scenes. Rihanna's name keeps surfacing again and again in Clarissa's numerology. And not just her stage name, but Barbados, her birthplace, too. Every time those two names show up together, it sets off alarm bells. Pause now. This doesn't mean Rihanna is personally doing anything wrong, but the connection pattern itself is wild. Clarissa has been publicly praising Rihanna, calling her an inspiration, and openly fangirling ever since Rihanna mentioned her. And pause right after that. Boom. Rihanna's name appears inside the same numerology, readings tied to all this chaos. Online, pause people are digging even deeper, pointing out that Rihanna has long been associated with industry symbolism and secretive imagery. Old clips are resurfacing where she paused, joked about things like being on the dark side, or leaning into Illuminati rumors. Whether she was serious or not, that's what the internet latched onto, and now it's feeding straight back into Clarissa's pause storyline. So fans are asking, could Clarissa's connection to Rihanna be genuine support, or could it be the beginning of something quietly being set up around her? Nobody truly knows yet, but the coincidences are stacking fast. The sudden appearance of Barbados, the repeating names, the same warning words buried in her numbers, all feels way too coordinated. Whatever is happening, it's clear Clarissa needs to stay alert, because the industry can turn into a dangerous playground fast. And sometimes admiration blinds you to the truth that not everyone clapping for you is actually cheering you on. Things are getting darker by the minute. The word crash is showing up again under Clarissa's name, and it equals 154. The same number tied to snake, death, and occult. That's 4 heavy-hitting words, all locked under the same code. Then another name surfaces. Benedict, which literally represents betrayal, is giving off serious backstab energy, like someone close to her might be plotting behind her back. Alongside that, even more disturbing words are appearing. Beast, ritual to the sacrifice, and sacrifice by itself. These phrases don't show up randomly. They always point toward danger, deception, or deep manipulation. And then comes one that made people stop and stare. Minecraft. At first glance, it sounds harmless, but in this context, it symbolizes mind games. It suggests people playing with perception, twisting what's real and what's fake until even she might struggle to tell the difference. So her full name, Clarissa Maria Shields, was tested next, and the results were just as intense. One phrase that appeared was suddenly and unexpectedly, which sounds like a warning that something tragic could hit out of nowhere. The energy behind it matches everything else showing up in these readings. Fast, unpredictable, and life-altering. Right next to that came line of the tribe of Judah. That one stands out because it usually represents divine strength and protection, a powerful spiritual connection that refuses to break. It could mean there's still something watching over her, holding her up even while chaos closes in from all sides. But the strangest phrase of all might be Mark's brain has healed. It keeps appearing repeatedly, and nobody can fully explain it. The question everyone's asking is, who is Mark? Is it symbolic? Or does it connect to someone already mentioned? Some believe Mark represents a person close to her who's influencing her mentally or emotionally. Others think Mark refers to the mark, meaning someone who's been targeted. Either way, the deeper this goes, the clearer it becomes that Clarissa is surrounded by powerful forces, both protective and dangerous, pulling her in opposite directions. It's like she's walking a thin line between safety and serious trouble, without fully realizing how intense it's becoming. Whatever is about to unfold, the energy in these readings is screaming warning. Now this next part is straight up chilling. The phrase Mark's brain is healed keeps resurfacing, and nobody can fully decode what it means. Could it be symbolic? Like Clarissa finally waking up and seeing things clearly before it's too late? Or could it be pointing to someone else entirely? Either way, it's another unsettling pattern added to a list that just keeps growing. And here's where it takes an even darker turn. Remember earlier when Plane Crash and Kobe Bryant kept appearing under her name? Well now, after entering Clarissa Maria Shields again, a brand new phrase appears. It's not the plane, it's the pilot. That line alone sent chills through everyone watching. Because it doesn't warn about the machine. It warns about the person controlling it.
It's like your attitude blocks your beauty. It's like when you're being mean and nasty and your attitude is how your attitude is, it's like a brick wall. But when you're being nice, it's like a brick wall is removed and I can see all your beauty. Like, bruh, all you had to do is say I look cute today. Like,
People immediately started connecting the dots. What if something isn't right with whoever's in charge, literally or symbolically? Some fans are even speculating whether this could be pointing toward Paul's an actual flight situation. Maybe something connected to Barbados, since that name keeps reappearing in her readings alongside Rihanna's. Could someone be trying to get her to travel there? Or could the danger come from there? It all sounds wild, but then you remember strange things like this have happened before. People instantly thought of Aaliyah, whose tragic plane crash was later linked to issues with her pilot, including overloading the aircraft and even Kobe Bryant's tragedy. Investigators said problems with the pilot played a role. So in the exact wording, not the plane, pause as the pilot shows up under Clarissa's numerology. It's hard not to feel chills. And if that wasn't enough, another bizarre phrase appeared right after. Ocean Gate Submersible. That's another term tied to a real-life disaster. The same wording connected to that submarine that imploded in the ocean not long ago. When names and phrases tied to Paul's crashes and underwater tragedies start appearing together, it usually signals that something symbolic is being revealed. Maybe it's about control, power, or who's really steering the ship in her life. Altogether, these patterns are getting too strange to ignore. Every time her name is entered, something new connects to danger, betrayal, or manipulation. Not the plane. It's the pilot might not even be literal. It can mean the Paul's people guiding her career, influencing her moves, or steering her decisions aren't the ones she should trust. Either way, the message buried in these words is clear. Clarissa might not be in the driver's seat anymore. And unless she takes back control soon, she could be heading straight into a storm she never saw coming. Now this next connection is seriously unsettling. The Ocean Gate Submersible keeps showing up under Clarissa's name. You remember that tragic event, right? A group of Paul's wealthy adventurers took a deep-sea trip to see the Titanic wreck, and they never made it back. The entire sub imploded, leaving behind a chilling reminder that even the richest and most powerful can escape fate when they take the wrong risks. So when Ocean Gate Submersible appears under Clarissa's name, people can't help pause but read it as a warning. Like her ship could be heading toward the same kind of disaster pause if she doesn't course correct soon. Symbolically, it's as if the numbers are saying her world could sink if she keeps surrounding herself with the wrong people or signing deals she doesn't fully understand. Her full name, Clarissa Maria Shields, equals Paul's 196. And when that number is entered into the system, the first name that pops up is David Rockefeller. That's wild because Paul's Rockefeller-related terms have been appearing again and again throughout these readings under both her and Papoose's names. It feels Paul's like that same high-level energy, the old money power player type, keeps hovering around them no matter where you look. And that's not all. Under Papoose's name, another phrase appeared earlier, slavery or slave. Some fans pointed out that in today's world, that doesn't always mean chains. It can represent Paul's modern-day industry control. The idea that when you sign certain contracts, you're bound by the fine print, locked into deals that keep you working for others while thinking you're free. That connection makes this even more haunting, because it suggests both of them could be trapped in something far bigger than fame or love. Now, when 196 gets analyzed deeper, another shocking phrase appears right after helicopter crash that instantly pull comparisons to Kobe Bryant, whose tragedy still echoes through the sports world. Seeing that same wording appear under Clarissa's name sent chills everywhere, especially since earlier readings already mentioned planes, crashes, and pilot issues. It's like the danger symbols keep stacking on top of each other. Sky, sea, and even contracts. And once again, the word cult shows up too. That's one of those repeating red flags that keeps circling back like a warning siren. Between Ocean Gate, helicopter crash, and Rockefeller, it's clear her name is carrying heavy energy tied to power, risk, and unseen control. Fans are saying Clarissa is walking through a storm without realizing how deep the water really is. These repeating signs, the crashes, the symbols, the names are all pointing toward one thing. Something massive is building, and unless she moves carefully, her own ship could be the next one sinking. Now this next part sends shockwaves through everyone following the story. Because under Clarissa's readings, December keeps showing up again and again. Specific dates, end-of-year references, and even the chilling phrase, "This will be your last Christmas," appeared multiple times under her numbers and possibly as two. Seeing that line pop up made everyone stop. That's not something you brush off as coincidence. It carries the weight of a warning, like time is running out or something major is scheduled to happen before the year ends. And the repetition doesn't stop there. The phrase "keep her time" also appeared under the same number pattern, almost like a countdown is ticking quietly in the background. The number 196 shows up again and connects to even more symbolic words: Jesuits and slave. What's strange is how these terms mirror both Clarissa's and Papoose's charts. His reads slavery, while hers reads slave. The meanings overlap almost perfectly, showing a shared energy of control or confinement between them. It's like they're both caught inside the same spiritual contract, bound to something neither fully understands. And that's where it turns sad, because even with all these signs pointing toward danger, Clarissa doesn't seem to see it that way. She's moving fast, surrounded by people who make her feel like she's finally arrived. With Papoose by her side, she's being introduced to big-name celebrities, stepping into elite circles she was never part of before. To her, it probably feels like success, like acceptance into a higher level of fame. But to people watching from the outside, it looks very different. They see a familiar pattern, a rising star being pulled deeper into a world that looks glamorous on the surface, but always comes with hidden costs. The flashing lights, the power, the recognition. It all feels amazing until you realize who's really controlling your story. Right now, Claressa Shields is standing at a crossroads. She's surrounded by fame, money, and opportunity, but the numbers and the energy behind them are screaming warning. Whether she chooses to hear it or not might determine how this whole thing ends. The truth is, nobody can save her if she doesn't want to be saved. And from the way things are shaping up, she might already be too deep in that glittering world to see what's really happening behind the curtain. Now, Claressa's entire environment has shifted. She's moving with a completely different type of crowd, and not everyone around her looks safe to trust. One name that keeps resurfacing again is Boozy. Reports claim he's been walking her out, showing up around her events, and possibly trying to attach himself to her business moves. Allegedly, there's talk he may have signed some kind of deal with her, and that alone has people uneasy. See, Boozy has a reputation for always finding a way into major situations. People still remember the MO3 situation, how he was allegedly involved behind the scenes, appearing in a video clip of MO3 riding up on a bike before tragedy struck, and how rumors said he made serious money afterward. Nobody knows the full truth, but the whispers never stopped. And now, with Boozy reportedly hovering around Claressa, folks can't help but see the same pattern forming again. When you look at Claressa's readings, it's like the numbers themselves are hinting she could be lined up for something big. Maybe even something that benefits others more than it benefits her. The phrase "sacred to fight" keeps appearing, and that's often tied to sacrifice, attention, or profit. It's the same cycle that's taken down too many before. People around her may be positioning themselves to cash in, not just off her talent, but off her chaos. Claressa needs to tighten up quickly. She's spending big, living bold, and moving without enough protection. And yes, she's a champion. She's got the hands, the skill, the power to defend herself. But this isn't the ring. This is real life. Out here, nobody fights fair. And when money enters the picture, loyalty disappears fast. Right now, she's moving quickly, maybe too quickly, without realizing how many eyes are on her. And not all of them are friendly. The shifts in her mood, the people pulling her in different directions, and Papoose's strange grip on the situation are all pushing her closer to a breaking point. He's keeping her close, keeping her distracted, while everything around her spins further out of control. At this stage, it's hard to tell if Claressa is truly in charge, or she's being moved like a piece in someone else's strategy. One thing is certain. She's in over her head, surrounded by power plays, hidden deals, and dangerous smiles. If she doesn't start protecting herself soon, the next storyline might not be one she gets to walk away from. At this point, there are things that can't even be said out loud, but the tension around Claressa's situation is reaching its peak. Recently, she went live and made it clear she's not foolish, saying she's too smart to ever let anyone play her. She said it confidently. Try to convince everyone that she has full control over what's happening. But the numbers and the energy are telling a very different story. When her readings were pulled again, the element water appeared, and not just once. Words like storm and tsunami showed up right beside it. That's a clear sign something massive is building, like a wave waiting to crash. Every time water shows up in numerology, it represents emotional overflow, secrets coming out, or the kind of chaos you can't escape once it hits. Whatever's approaching feels heavy. And according to these readings, someone is going to get hurt emotionally, financially, or worse. It's not something anyone wants to witness, but it feels unavoidable if things keep moving in this direction. The whole situation has been spiraling for a while now. Too many mixed messages, too many deals, too many people with their hands in the pot. When the storm finally breaks, it's not going to be pretty. The numbers are clear. Something explosive is brewing right beneath the surface. And when Clarissa finally realizes that her $8 million deal isn't what she believes it is, that it's tied to contract splits and paybacks leaving her with far less than she expects, that's when reality is going to hit the hardest. The industry never hands out millions without strings attached, and those fine print details can destroy someone faster than fame ever built them up. It's honestly painful to watch this unfold. Clarissa fought her way to the top, becoming champion after champion, battling for everything she earned. But now it's starting to look like her biggest fight isn't inside the ring anymore. It's the battle outside of it, against fake friends, hidden agendas, and a machine that profits off her name. If she doesn't wake up soon and start protecting her legacy, she might realize too late that this wave wasn't meant to lift her up. It was meant to wash her out. From the way the numbers line up, it looks like this connection between Clarissa and Papoose was always bound to happen. One way or another, their paths were going to cross. It was written into both of their patterns long before the drama ever began. No matter how you break it down, this collision was inevitable. What's wild is that when you go back and watch The Fire Inside, Clarissa's movie, you see how locked in she used to be. She was unstoppable, disciplined, driven, and willing to sacrifice everything for her goals. Back then, she shut out distractions, walked away from noise, and built her name with pure focus and heart. You'd think that same mindset would be her shield right now. Maybe deep down it still is. Maybe she'll tap back into that strength when she finally sees what's really happening around her. Clarissa isn't foolish. She said it herself. She knows what she'll tolerate and what she won't. Even though Papoose has been spinning stories trying to convince her that all these rumors, photos, and videos are just AI, it's hard to believe she's bought into all of it. People online are calling that out too. Why would anyone go through the trouble of creating fake AI clips of Remy Ma and Papoose from years ago? That doesn't even add up. If those clips aren't newly created or freshly posted, then they had to come from somewhere real, likely Remy Ma's own archives. And if that's the case, someone with access could have intentionally leaked them to stir chaos. It feels like a digital setup designed to press buttons, create tension, and keep three names, Papoose, Clarissa, and Remy Ma, circulating nonstop online. Because here's the truth. As long as people are talking about Papoose and Clarissa, Remy Ma's name stays hot too. She's running a business, building a brand, and this kind of attention, even when messy, keeps her relevant in the public eye. It's a cycle. Controversy fuels clicks, and every headline adds another layer to the story. But despite all the whispers, not everyone believes this relationship is fake. Some say there's real emotion there, even if it's complicated and messy. Maybe that's why Clarissa is holding on. She sees something in him she's not ready to let go of yet. But others believe it a carefully staged setup for attention, power, and money. A perfectly packaged love story that just happens to benefit everyone involved. Whatever the truth may be, this situation keeps sinking deeper by the day, with careers, reputations, and emotions all twisted together. It's hard to tell who's manipulating who, or who's going to end up getting played when it's all said and done. One thing is certain, though, this story is nowhere near finished. And if the numbers mean anything, the next chapter is about to flip everything upside down. You can see it in her eyes. Clarissa's emotions are written all across her face. No matter what people online are saying, this doesn't look fake. She's deep in it, for real. Every move, every post, every live stream feels like it's coming from raw emotion, not careful calculation. Whatever the situation is between Clarissa and Papoose, real or staged, it's clearly weighing heavy on her heart. Honestly, the hope right now is that she snaps out of it before things spiral even further. She's powerful, gifted, and strong, but love and loyalty can blind even the toughest fighter. If she can pull herself out of this fog and refocus on herself, she could still turn everything around. But if she keeps letting emotion steer her moves while people around her run their own plays, she could lose more than just peace of mind. And the wildest part, Clarissa recently went live speaking with full confidence about how smart she is and how she'd never let anyone run game on her. She even said anyone doubting her was just dumb for falling for AI lies. She was talking heavy, brushing off every rumor like it meant nothing. But here's the issue. That whole AI excuse is exactly what Papoose keeps feeding her to calm her down, to keep her believing nothing's wrong, and everyone else is just hating. It's hard to watch, because she's defending him fiercely, not realizing that same excuse might be what's keeping her stuck. If she ever looks back on these moments later, she's going to realize how much weight she was carrying for a man who may not have been carrying the same for her. But for now, we'll pause here because the story is far from finished. The patterns, the people, the drama, all of it is still unfolding. And whatever comes next, you already know it's going to set the internet on fire again. If you've been keeping up with this entire wild saga, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Do you think Clarissa will finally wake up and see what's really happening? Or is she still too deep in her feelings to walk away? Stay tuned to the next one, because it's only getting crazier from here.